Hi, this is Sean Molin, and this is my personal leadership philosophy presentation for Leadership 651 with Greg Borland at Bethel University. Just a little bit before we get started about the presentation, I'm going to start off just briefly going through a couple of assessments, my Myers-Briggs and StrengthsFinder, just to get a good basis of my personality. I think it's important as we move into the leadership style because it kind of serves as the foundation for that. Then I will be moving into three key leadership concepts that I think really um, describe my leadership style and then tie in kind of how they fit into my personality traits as well. I will finish by just going briefly over next steps for my leadership development. So looking at how I am wired with the Myers-Briggs, I'm an INFP, introverted, intuitive, feeling, perceiving. It's called the mediator. I'm an internal processor, do that intuitively, focusing on emotions and values. I'm very idealistic and perfectionistic, which can lead me to maybe have overly lofty goals and burn myself out at times. I'm an abstract thinker, non-linear thinker, and I'm a good creative writer and creative problem solver. I have a natural awareness of other people's emotions, and I really dislike conflict. Taking a look at StrengthsFinder, I wrote a sentence that describes each of my strengths, kind of how I see them in my life. Strategic, the world is my chessboard. I'm always looking to what moves I need to make to, advance, to gain a better position, to make key partnerships with people. Competition, I like to be measured. I'm very externally motivated, and I do like to win. When things are being judged. Context, I like to know everything I can. I'm like a sponge. I'm soaking in all information that I can. I'm a relator, meaning I keep my circle small and very personal, which relates to my introversion. And I'm a maximizer, meaning that I really play to my strengths much more than my weak areas. So, taking a look at my leadership style concepts, the first one that I chose was positive leadership. I think in the first class that I took in the program called the Leadership Enterprise, we learned about the importance of a good ratio of positive to negative comments on followers. That's something that I've really taken to heart, and I've seen the effect of that in my leadership. I really try to promote strong communication and conflict resolution. I think this ties into my personality profile, primarily in the fact that I really try to avoid conflict. My second leadership style concept is empowerment. In my paper, I go through a number of statistics that show how empowerment is key to engaging employees and helps the overall organization. But more fundamentally, I just have this value or view that work should be something that is enjoyable, something that people feel is valuable, and that is not a miserable experience. I think this is tied into my emotional awareness of people around me, and that if I see them disengaged, it bothers me, and I want to help that out. My last leadership style concept is playing to strengths. I grew up, with the myth of well-roundedness, and when I learned about strengths, my own strengths, I was able to better leverage them into more success and enjoying what I do more. This ties back into just a value of making work more enjoyable for everyone, which leads to more success. I also think I'm very strategic at deploying people. I can figure out creative ways to move people around. So, looking at my next steps in my leadership development, I think that right now is a kind of a seminal moment where finishing the program, I really would like to transition from the learning phase that I've been into an action phase where I start to deploy and use the concepts and things I've learned in a more systematic way, both in my organization and then in my career in general. And I also think that just pursuing additional learning opportunities, being a lifelong learner, and continue building on my knowledge base and my skills as a leader will be important. And finally, I feel that This leadership program has been a tremendous benefit to my overall walk and my faith, and I think that keeping on pursuing growth in my faith will be very instrumental at becoming a better leader.